Hey everyone, we're back for another workout of the day. Today is 12 Days of Fitness Part 2. So you can either do this one or you can scroll down and check out the video from last year. So how we do this is you're going to start with one, so one handstand push-up, and then you're going to go to 2 thrusters, and then back to one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, then one, just like the song, 12 Days of Christmas. So you're just going to keep going back and then adding the next thing, going back. So it's one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 handstand push-ups, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, 8 renegade rows, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, 8 renegade rows, 9 glute bridges, one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, 8 renegade rows, 9 glute bridges, 10 V-ups. Then one handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, 8 renegade rows, 9 glute bridges, 10 V-ups, 11 kettlebell swings, 1 handstand push-up, 2 thrusters, 3 burpees, 4 slam balls, 5 box jumps, 6 ab rollers, 7 goblet squats, 8 renegade rows, 9 glute bridges, 10 V-ups, 11 kettlebell swings, and 12 kettlebell high pulls, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, so that is the workout. We're going to go through all those movements and the modifications, and then you can get started. Okay, so our first movement is going to be our handstand push-up. So I'm going to start with the modifications, and then I'll show you the wall. However, we're going to have to work our way up there. So if you're new, don't panic. It sounds worse than it is. First off, we can just do our regular push-ups. So we're going to come and we're going to make sure that we're flat, our butt's not sticking up, our butt's not sagging down. We're in a nice plank position. Our hands are directly under our shoulders, and we're going to come down evenly. So if your chest is hitting the floor before your, everything should be going down. So if you're sagging your butt, this part will touch first. So try to avoid that. Now, the next thing to make it slightly harder is the plank push-ups. So we're going to be sticking our butt way up, which I just told you not to do. We're going to be on our toes, and we're going to come down and touch our head on the ground. We can also use a box to do about the same thing. The higher you're up, the more like it is on the wall, so the harder it's going to be. So we're going to come and walk ourselves in, and we're going to touch our head between our hands. And then last but not least, the actual handstand push-up against the wall here. Again, I don't know how well you can see from there, but we're just gonna make our way to the wall, touch, and come down. So those are our options there. The next movement is going to be our thrusters. So important things to keep in mind with the thrusters is that we want a good squatting position. We also want to make sure that we are tight in our core and we're staying upright. So our feet should be flat on the ground. We want to make sure that our toes are pointed slightly outward because our knees are going to go out, and we're going to squat down to at least parallel. So this is parallel, this is a little bit below. We want to make sure we're staying up. Our feet should be flat. If your feet are coming up, make sure your knees are going out, but also make sure, it might be a flexibility issue, mobility issue. So go down as far as you can without rolling on those toes. You want to be resting either the dumbbells or the bar, whatever you're going to be using for this, on your shoulders, so you're not holding it here. That's important. So if we just bring our elbows up and out, that's going to create a shelf to hold it on here, and we're going to come down, and as we're going to use the momentum of the squat, and when we come up, we're going to push that weight up with our legs and finish it with a straight arms. And then as we come down, we want to be coming down into that squat. So we're going to use the weight to go down and use our legs to push the weight up. So if you're doing it with a barbell, this is what it's going to look like. So it's resting now on my shoulders. I'm coming down into that squat, and I'm pushing up. Hey, Mia. So if we can also use dumbbells, we can use 1 or 2 for this. But again, it's going to be at that same movement, making sure you're coming up evenly and with straight arms. You can switch, each round arms. You can also use a band, and you can either use 1 arm or 2. So come down, depending on how resistant the band is, will allow you to do this as well. Okay, so those are the options there. The next one is going to be our burpees. So we're going to come back down into that plank position, into that push-up, back up, and a little jump at the top. So modifications, you can go ahead and do a half burpee. So no push-up. Make sure that you're coming all the way out with those legs. You can walk it out. Or you can use a bench. Come out, push up. Or the box. And those are pretty much your options there. Okay, slam ball. We want to make sure that we're using our whole body for this. So we need a tight core. We want to use our legs. We want to use our arms. So full body workout. We're going to come down into a squat. Again, knees out, chest up. We're going to grab the ball with 2 hands on either side. And we're going to come all the way up till our hands are straight. And we're going to come down with the ball and then slam it on the bottom. We don't want to slam it on the top, because what happens is you're usually going to start hinging and letting things loose. So we want to follow the ball down and slam it when you get close, because if you want to do this in a nice quick manner, you want to try to catch it on that slight bounce that it does. Now, it doesn't bounce much, so you have to be quick to get it, and you have to be low. So again, we're going to come down all the way up, follow it down, slam, pick up. So modifications, you can use your band. So come down in a squat, come up, down in a squat, kind of like a thruster. You can do it with one arm too. You can also take a dumbbell, come down, up, down, up. Now just remember, it's going to be slightly awkward with that. You don't want to drop it, so just really pay attention. It's going to be a little bit slower than the slam ball. The next one is our box jump. So we're going to sit up at the box, facing the box, jump fully on the box. My feet are fully on, they're not hanging off. I'm landing in quarter squat and standing all the way up. I can step down or I can jump down. Things to avoid: jumping all the way in the squat position. That's going to kill those hips and knees. Also avoiding those hanging off the box. So modifications, you can do step ups, foot completely on top of the box, using this leg to step completely up. My leg is straight. Now I can go ahead and put the other foot on, step back down, all the way up, down. You can set up plates if you have bumper plates to a height you feel comfortable with jumping or stepping on as well. You can also just do air squats, and again, that good upright position, knees out, coming all the way down. You can also use the bench to do that as well, or you can do you can use it with a bench. Without a bench, you can do jumping squats or jumping squats. Okay, next, get those abs in there. So we're going to do our ab rollers. We're going to use the ab roller. We're going to make sure our butt is coming down and everything is straight and flat. We want to really squeeze those abs to bring the roller back and forth. It shouldn't be your arms just rolling out. You should be using those abs. Ab roller, hence the name. Again, I'm not just doing this. My butt is coming down, my arms are coming out, and I'm going down until I get straight. Now, modifications, you can just do a halfway roll if you can't, but make sure your butt is still coming down and it's not staying back here. You can also do some inchworms, so you can walk your way out, touch, walk your way back in, and just switch arms each way, or you can just do some sit-ups. The next movement is our goblet squat. So again, good squat position, toes slightly pointed out, hips, your feet are about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider, but no more than slightly. Chest up, coming down to that parallel position or lower if you can. So this is a goblet squat. So modification would be without weight, or you can take your weight. And again, we want our chest to be nice and straight up so that we're supporting that weight. Our core should be tight. We can also take a band here, and we can either have it here or back here, and again, using that resistance to come up and down. The next movement is going to be our renegade rows. So I'm going to face forward first and then sideways so you can see. We want two dumbbells, and they're going to be in that same push-up position where, hold on, where our hand is directly under our shoulders. We want our feet to be kind of wide apart to set a nice platform. We are going to pull and stomp with our arms, but what we want to do while we're doing that is be squeezing everything, especially that core, legs, glutes, everything, to stay stable, because what you don't want to do is pull and move. You don't want even the slight movement. You want to be as steady as possible. So let me come over here. So nothing is moving. So pick a weight that you can feel comfortable with doing that. The other thing you can do is get a band, and you can do marches with the band, or you can do shoulder taps. They should be kind of slower when you're tapping, really focusing on that core. The next movement is our glute bridges. So there's lots of variations of this. We're going to just start with the average floor glute bridge. Our feet should be about hip width apart. We want our hands flat on the ground, and we're going to push up until we are in a nice straight line. We're going to squeeze our glutes at the top and come back down and touch like so. You can add weight. Again, just a slight pause at the top, embracing that squeeze. You can use a bench to put your back on to just make it a little bit harder. And again, you're going to come down. This bench is a little tall for me. You can use, your stability ball as well. This one needs air. And again, you can put weight or not weight on there too. Okay. 10 V-ups. So we're going to reach back, touching those toes, squeezing those abs, making sure that our shoulders are getting off the ground. That's the important part. So we don't want to just be raising our feet and doing some weird thing. Modifications. Again, you see I'm picking my back and shoulders off the ground, so only my butt is on the ground. Do alternating. Or you can do some leg raises with your back off the ground. Kettlebell swings. We're almost done, guys. So kettlebell swings, feet a little bit slightly wider than hip width apart. We're going to bring our butt back. We're going to hinge at the hips. My chest is up. My outside of my wrist is going to touch the inside of my thigh. And I'm going to bring it up till I get about eye level here. And we're going to squeeze those glutes at the top. And we're going to use that momentum to swing the kettlebell. Again, swinging is the key. It's called a kettlebell swing, not a kettlebell pull. So things to avoid is this squat motion, right? Or coming back too far. You really want that back to be straight and that core to be tight. So this is what it's going to look like. My feet are flat on the ground, and I'm using the momentum to swing that kettlebell upward high. You can also use a dumbbell if you do not have a kettlebell. Or you can use a band as well. You're going to step in that band. bringing it through your legs. Oops. And it's the same movement like so. Okay. Last but not least, you're going to need a kettlebell or a dumbbell for this. So we want to make sure, again, core tight, back straight. We're going to pick it up with two hands. And as we pull up, we want our elbows to come out, up and out. So we're using the legs to drive the kettlebell weight up and finishing it with a pull with our arms. So you can also use a band for this as well. And what I would do is I would step through here and pull. You can also use kettlebell here. Again, make sure you're keeping that back straight and coming down, no bending and trying to pull. It should be a nice upright pull, kind of like a deadlift with a high pull. So that is the workout for the day. Merry Christmas and good luck.